Abdul, are you ready? So should we start?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone. Good evening to all of you from Impactors Connect and Startup Green Dhaka, and also from Department of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So welcome to our new session on angel investment. So previously we had done another session on angel investment. So this is our second session. So we are privileged to have Abdul Khaleq Al-Qasaily, a founder and CEO of QR International from Turkey. So he's also the global mentor for startups, Scaleups and SMEs of WBAF, World Business Angel Investment Forum. He's also the accredited and qualified mentor of them as well. So he's also the business strategic advisor, consultant, business management experience in the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and Europe, and he has more than 18 years of experience in the field of business management. He's recently basically focusing on Fintech, HealthTech, Cybersecurity, IoT, AI, Biotech and NanoTechnology, and so on. So other than this, he is mentoring and coaching various startups from different part of the world. So we welcome you, Abdul Khaleq. So it is a privilege for us to have you today in our session. So just let me tell all the participants that in this today's session, the session is about. I'm just giving the floor to Abdul Khaleq. Just he will share about the angel investment. As I know, many of you are very new about this particular things, and not only this, we are going to have the collaboration with him so that in the coming days, I mean Bangladesh and Turkey from our side and for his side, our startups and those who are very potential about their business, they might get the fund from his side as well, because he's investing money to the startups. So I think he will share a lot of things. After that, after his short session about 20 or 25 minutes, we'll go back to the question. In the meantime, whatever the question you have regarding angel investment or the investment or anything regarding to a startup, feel free to ask in the Q&A session so that I will pass the question to Abdul and he will answer from his side, and I'll support them time to time. So Abdul, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. It's my pleasure joining you on this interesting event. I would like also to greet you and all the attendees here. And I would be happy to join, to discuss one of the, let's say, important, interesting topic for entrepreneurship, which is angel investment. So I'm going to talk today about angel investment and how can startup get prepared and get funded. I'll go now through the slides. So you have made also the introduction. I just would mention that I'm also an angel investor, and I have invested in many startups in Turkey and also globally. And I have experience on something called venture building. So we identify potential business ideas, we're building teams, we're finding capitals also, and helping grow the companies and venture and providing them shared services. So I'm going today to reveal some secret for the startup, how they are be able then to get successfully the fund they need. So what is in our agenda? I will be talking about what is angel investing, what are the differences and advantages, and why do we as angel investor actually invest, then what we are looking for, and how startups can get prepared for angel investment. The question and answer. So I'll now show you, everybody, this is what's called funding landscape. You see, to get fund for a startup nowadays, we have different stages, and then we have the fund resources. So angel investment stage here, you can see, and here as well, from the seed, pre-seed stage until early stage startup. So then comes after that the equity and venture capitalists with larger amount. So actually, angel investors are investors that, investing in these stages, in the seed, pre-seed, and early stages. And they invest their own money. And normally, when we ask about the ranges, it's started from 5,000 to until 100,000. This is the range of the fund. If they want to invest more, we build something called angel groups or business angel network. So this is, we can find it in different countries. We are also a member here, me and Asif, with the World Business Angel Fund. So these are the structure or the landscape of the funding. Maybe we ask now, actually, about the these kind of funding sources. What is venture capitalist, and what is the difference between angel investment and venture capitals? Actually, you know, the main, actually, I will go just through the main differences are angel investment. Usually, the individuals, they are, let's say, successful CEOs. And whereas the venture capitalists are more professional, and they do living from that profession. At the same time, the angel investor, actually, they have their own business and they do investing because for other reasons. So the other, let's say, difference for that is the angel investor may, here we can see, may or may not want a seat on the company's board of directors, but for the venture capitalists, yes, they taking boards and seats as a norm. So these are the, let's say, the differences. And there are actually advantages, we can say, for the angel investment. What are the when we look at this graphics, you see, you know, we started as a startup with the idea, concept, team, prototype, and so on. And here we called the valley of death for a startup. Actually, this valley of death is where the difficulty, actually, for the startup to cover the negative cash out and start generating revenue. And here where the business angels or the angel network can support. So it is like a safer for the startup. When we compare also about, there are some studies actually that tell us that worldwide, we can talk about 50,000 more where startups were funded by angel investor, whereas we can find only 3,000 that is funded by venture capitalists, irrespective of the value of the funds. So now, what angel investor looks for? This is actually, I would like you to here focus so that you know if you are going to approach for angel investment, what you have to consider and to take care of. So first of all, viable idea. So your idea should be viable. Means, now when we think about why do startups fail, actually simply because there is no market need. There is great idea, they dream very well, but when they go to the product to the market, there will be, you know, a problem with their strategy. So you need, as a startup, to validate your business idea, and with actually the strategy of the lean startup. This you have to concentrate on that. Lean startup means you come up with business ideas and you have to test them to iterate and prove your prototype. you have to commercialize and conceptualize your idea so that you going from tested ideas to scalable. And we as an angel investor, we like to see scalable company, you know. That means it will be grow, it will expand, not only locally, but also globally. This is important. But you have to start. You have to prove that you are already in the market. But let's say you still need money for development your prototype, or what we call minimum viable product. So in this case, do you need money for that? Actually, no, you don't need. Because minimum viable product, it's only how we are going to get feedback from the customer. And you can do that without needing the first investment or the angel investment. So you can test your idea, prove that you have customer, and you can show by your angel investment meeting that you have something viable and you are already in the market. The second point is you have to tell, and what we as angel investor look at is the market size. Is your market large? Is it fast growing? Is it scalable? So you have to understand your market. You have to understand your industry very well. You know, there is something called TAM. It is total addressable market. That's mean what is your total market demand for your product and service. You have to show us what is your demand, what is the total market demand. And you have to be able to show the portion of your market that you can realistically reach and service. What is your market portion here? Then explain to us how you will accomplish this. How would you accomplish this? So market size is important for us. Then third point is business model. You know, the business model, you have to also present it, but also with unfair advantage. Unfair advantage means it's not easy to copy or difficult to copy for competitors. You have something unique, competitive advantage, and this point I will come to it also in details in my next slide. So, is your business model have major advantage? Is it new idea? What is the technology there? Do you have patent or intellectual property? So we here as angel investor would like to see competitive advantage. Now, how will you make it difficult for another competitors to compete directly to you in your market? This is what you call unfair advantage, but you have two solutions on that. What we use barriers to entry. So if you increase the size of barriers to entry, you will have unfair advantage. At the same time, if you create new barriers to entry, and this, of course, topic that can be, you know, we can discuss it on our next event. But business model is important, as I said, and then we have team. Now, your team, how strong is it? What is their relevant experience? What is their successes? I mean, do they have past experience on or profitable business they have made? The angel investor must believe in the team, and they have, and here we want to be comfortable with both of all the founders and all the key operating personnel of your company. So, because we look at the team as we are investing more in people, not on the product or service, but more investing in people, because those are who are returning our profit, and this is what we have the business in. This is important. Now, as competitive advantage, as I say, makes different competitors. have intellectual property, new idea, technology there, but competitive advantage, as it's very important for us, I'd like here to tell you about how can you gain as a startup, how would you gain sustainable competitive advantage? Now, other than intellectual property or patent that you may have, these areas I'm listing here, you can also create your or have your competitive advantage, like strategic partnership. Strategic partnership, this will make you in a good position. Your strength, as I said, of the team, your relationship with already major customers, and if you are the first enter to the market, to your startup, and also if you already generate leads or having an existing customer database. These are lists that you can create. As I said, there is a entry at the same time to have a sustainable competitive advantage. Now, we can discuss now about, as I like you, it is actually tips from me to you as a startup, as an entrepreneur, from my perspective as angel investor. Areas here, 5, I think we have 7 areas we can go through it briefly, how you will get prepared for the angel investment. First of all, let's talk about the pitch deck. Pitch deck, this is your where you present your business model, business ideas, and business plan. So you have to make your pitch deck very simple but effective. So normally we have 9 to 11 slides. You have to all these slides effectively and simply to the investor. Now, clear problem statement is very essential. You have to tell us what problem you are solving, how are we going to solve it, and then you have to show your financial model, but realistic. So how will you make good use of the money that you are investing in you? What is our return on investment? And then remember, you need to create always a runway. Before flying, you have to create a runway for your traction. That's mean before that, your family owning or your family and friends' money in order to build your business, to prove your prototype. This is important. So, other than pitch deck, you have the idea. You have to prepare. The due diligence. Due diligence. This is what we do normally for a startup when we are deciding to invest in. So you should have a file, complete file, preparing all the documents about your startup. We need to see your clearly pitch deck. You should have an executive summary, and you should tell us on this file how we're going to use the money, what is our return on investment, and also what is your valuation of the company. Because we want you use the terms pre-money and also post-money. So term sheet is important for us on this, and with the BPD. For starting the process of angel investment. For that, you need to prepare a list, what we call a logical list of 5 W's. This is who and what, when, where, and why question. We will be asking these questions. So you should have prepared strong, short, and consistent answers that always you have to bear in mind. We have this as angel investor, we'll be asking what is in it for me. So think about that. You have to put, choosing my position, what is in it for me? What is my return? So this is due diligence fine, should be prepared. You should have solid business plan. You also, as I said, you should have traction. That's mean early adopters and customer community you build already. We want to see that already you have get feedback. And also, as I said, competitive advantage is very, very critical. And also, appropriate counsels means you have to get a lawyer and accountant. Sorry. That's mean in order for the process, because you will be going into agreement and so on with the angel investor, so you should get your lawyer and accountant ready for that. Minimum valuable product prototype that you want to show, and you will then, as first step, as angel investor, when we want to invest in a startup, we start with a form. We send it to the investor, to the startup, and he gives us feedback. After that, we will start interview the next or meeting. On this meeting, I'm happy to tell you some secret or tips that you want to have to consider. The meeting is you have to be, very confident, and also to answer a question very consistent, very clear. A question that usually ask, this some of the question, like, what is your competitive advantage? How is my investment secured? How is my investment secured? And can you show me your financial plan? What will you do with my money? These are some of the questions that we are asking. So, but if we ask, let's say, give you an example here. Let's say, tell me about your team. Tell me about your team. So when I ask this question, I don't expect that you tell me, biographies. No, this is not about biographies. I want to know more. Is this team going to be effective on this venture? Is it going to make me rich, or I will be lose my money? The team is important. Or is the team are looking for, let's say, salary and nice office addresses and so on? How is the team looks like? So be ready for these tough questions. And my recommendation, advice always, don't lie and never lie, never ever. And if you don't know the answer, tell us, okay, you don't know the answer, but you will get back to us later on that. So we will know as angel investor that you are lying and when you are lying. So because we know people always respect honesty and directness. With this, Asif, actually, came to the final of my presentation. And thank you all for your attention. And I'm happy then to receive any questions, Asif. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So I have got one question, and I'm requesting all the participants if you have any question. So basically, this investment in Bangladesh, basically, it's not very popular, but also not new. So as a startup, so those who are a startup, many of the Bangladeshi startup got the investment from the angel investors from various regions. So if you have any question, feel free to write it down in the chat box or even the QA section. So I have got one question, Abdul. I hope you will answer this. So that is,
Yes.
which stages people, which stages startup you are looking for as an angel investor? One of the participants have asked this question. Yeah, go for that.
Yes, and the answer of stage, of course, we looking for pre-seed, in seed and early stages stages for a startup.
Okay.
Okay, so this is as an angel investment. When you know this is as I said, the range for angel investment is so. When we build and when we would like to invest more, we build like angel groups. In this case, we can up to 500,000 or 1 million, and then after that, venture capital is just for the Series A and B and so on.
Okay. Okay. So another thing is, what are the key preparations as the startup when they will actually go for asking for the investment? What are the preparation they should have take? As you told the graph or the things they have to cover it up. But in short, can you say a bit more about that so that they can understand?
About the difference?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, not difference. Basically, what is the preparation? Preparation they have to take before going for
yes. Yes, you mean here the preparation as a document. We have something called due diligence file, right? So this file, the startup has to prepare his business plan. So business plan, of course, business plan is more guesswork, but we know that the startup has ideas, has thought, has real project, and he wants to implement that, and he has the passion to start implement. Of course, it will be pitch deck clearly with the 11 slides, more concise and to the point, and there is called term sheet. This is kind of contract that we agree between the share prices and so on about between angel investor and startup. We have also the valuation of the company, and mainly, as I said, we need to see viable idea, and also a project that's already in the market. We have we have minimum viable product that show us that the startup is really is implementing and he has customer and there is a retain on profit for the successful business. Do you hear me? Is it okay?
Yeah, that's okay. So another thing is the due diligence process. Many of them have asked this question about the due diligence. Can you tell a brief about that, about the due diligence process?
Sorry, I didn't get you, Asif.
Can you hear me now?
We have, shall we? Yeah. Shall we answer here the question on the Q&A?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Go for that.
So, okay. I think here, Ion, he's saying, what if something truth might hurt the deal? What do you mean, Ion? I mean, I didn't understand. What do you mean by hurt the deal? I did not actually understand the question. So if you can elaborate that more, please. So we have another question from Ferdinand Islam. Thank you. Okay, for your thank you. I have a question to you, and that is angel will always be bent on the success of any private investment. They will often be the first to tap out when the company may be backed into a corner. How to deal with this type of situation? Actually, Islam, the issue is we as an angel investor, actually, we bring not only money, we have the experience and also the mentorship. We bring the connection network. So this is the advantage actually of angel investment. We are successful, experienced CEOs. We have our own companies, and we would like to support. First of all, why do we invest actually? For many reasons. One, because there will be a solid actually return on investment. Now, angel investment in some startup, we can have, 10x or even 100x for the return for such potential startups. The second is, if we see actually and like the entrepreneur and see there is potential, then we can, if we can see we can add value for the startups, it will be interested for us. So we will be investing in. We see this project and this idea is very valuable. We can share, maybe keep potential customer relationship. We can scale globally with the startup, and let's say in Turkey, Europe, or our Middle East region, from Asia, Bangladesh to other places. So if we see that we can add value and support the startup, we can do that. Yes, we can invest in that. So it is a smart money, a smart investment. We'd like to invest in not only like venture capitalists. They look, of course, mainly for the money and the return on investment, but we have also other reasons, as I say, to invest in the startup. We will help them, we will give them advice, and also even connect them with potential later on, later stages investment, you know. So I think with that, they will be, you know, there's nothing to be hard to deal as usual. And if we do it professionally on the right way, it always be on the successful.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. So just let me tell you a bit, because you know, I mean, whenever any startup actually go for the taking money from the banks or some of the venture capitalists, they have, like, they do not have any liability on, or even they will not gonna support your business. But as an angel investor, like Abdul has that experience of 18 years of in the business management and so on. So whenever Abdul is actually investing on any startup, he not only invest on that startup, he can guide the startup or the venture to grow up in the, not only in his or her countries, but also in some other parts, as he has a huge network all over the world. So this is one of the key reasons why actually angel investment is very important for all the startups. So I think one of them have asked me personally, that is yeah. So he's asking, like, as we are in the situation of pandemic, so after pandemic, or even so which sector the angel investment, I mean, how they will find the angel investor? That's, I think this is one of the good question, because finding an angel is
Yes.
sometimes is, yeah. So what is your suggestion for them?
Right. You know, I'll say, if we have, you know, on the difficulties lies opportunities always. So now within COVID-19, actually, a lot of opportunities came in, specifically on the remote working, on the health, of course, on the health and e-learning and so on. So now, working online, you can find any investment and help online. You can use technical startups is now to have connection. It is not like an interview. Now we can help, you know, even companies now they do remote working. So with COVID-19 era, we use the technology in order to overcome these difficulties. But as I said, there is a lot of ideas still stand out. I mean, the business ideas are still, I mean, there are a lot of ideas to work on. So don't, COVID-19 is not a bottleneck. This is also an opportunity. I would see it from that perspective. And we can work, yes, we can continue. And as an angel investment or a startup, we can do events, we can develop the business, we can have training sessions, and so on.
Yeah, I think we have got another question, that is, maybe this is the last question, that is the formation of team. When any startup is in the idea stage, whenever they are going to form the team, so what are the ways they can do it more efficiently and effectively? And I mean, the team is
Your
most
idea?
important. Yeah. Can you
Yes.
hear me now?
The
Yeah.
most important, yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, the most important is, yeah, you have to validate your business idea from the beginning. You know, think about it carefully and see what problem you are solving. What is your business idea? You have to look at and make good work. You have homework, research. Is this business idea that will be, has a demand, has a market need? How you will be forming the company? How will bid your staff? Do you have the team that can run the business effectively? So all these, as I said, are important, and I mentioned also about in the on the slides. Let's see if we talk about angel investment, we need maybe 20 events. It's a big topic, and shortly, I hope that I convey the message to attendees today, and what they have to look for, what we are going to check, of course, and in order to get funded for the investment. And they have to realize that you have knowledge. Also, integrity is important. Integrity, and also be realistic on your startup. And you should have prototype and work hard, because working hard will give the result.
Exactly. So that's very important. So I think we have Abdul has answered all the questions. So I think we are very close to the end of the session, and just let all the participants to know that we are going to host another incubation program very soon in the most probably in January or the end of the December. So all the idea stage, whatever stage you are, so just apply there so that you can be in touch, and mentors like Abdul will be there, and also some global mentors will be there, which who will actually support you to make your not startup but dreams come true. So I hope that will gonna help all of you in the coming days. And thank you, Abdul. So it is a pleasure meeting you. So it was our long desire to, I mean, do something together.
Yes.
So finally we did it, and
thank you.
I mean, because of COVID, we can made it. I mean, so soon. So any last thing you want to share about the Bangladeshi startup, or
Thank you.
who were the participants?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Asif, and your team. You are doing a great job. And also I'll be happy. I have, I can leave my, contacts, my LinkedIn account. I'm happy to support and working with you, for the startup ready. And we can also organize next event. Will be my pleasure, Asif, with you and your team.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all the participants. So
thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and I hope you have got some good indications and ideas about angel investment and how you can make yourself ready for your startup to go for getting investment for the investors. And we will support you in your journey, and we will love to support. So that's it from our side from today. I hope you will join our next program, which will be coming in this next 19th of November. Thank you so much. See you in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.